Welcome to podcast. This is the SQSA show, the stupid questions, stupid answers. Stop laughing at me. We've been trying to start this for like 5 minutes.
We're doing a good job.
The camera laughing at you.
This is the podcast where we ask some stupid questions, give some stupid answers, maybe serious answers, but no, they're all stupid. I'm your host, Andrew, also known as Argo Damon. Otherwise, we have on our my right, that direction, we have
John.
And then we have
Kyle.
Yeah, and then we have
I'm the Muffin Man.
it starts with M.
It does.
AKA.
Mr. Muffin.
AKA.
No, not your muffin top, Mike.
The pastry person.
We're just going to call you Muffin Top. We're just going to call you Muffin Top, Mike.
Oh, no.
We need to change your Discord handle now.
Now I'm sad.
I want a superhero called Pastry Person now.
I'm here to save the day with my croissant. he just holds a croissant.
It's a croissant boomerang.
Is a croissant a pastry?
Yeah. No.
You can have chocolate croissants.
It's
Well, then it becomes
It's a
pastry.
puff pastry. It's not a pastry.
Croissants are
still
delicious.
pastry.
They're really good though.
Yeah.
They're full of butter. They're great.
Yeah.
Michael
Not good for you.
picks up a frozen pizza every now and then. Is a croissant pizza.
It's pretty good.
It's actually
I think.
it's like
Yeah.
DiGiorno.
Like
It's surprisingly
crust?
good.
Like a
Really
croissant
fluffy and
crust?
really flaky.
Yeah, it's
Croissant?
I wouldn't really. It's not.
Croissant?
If I were to give it to like somebody that knows a croissant, they would bite into it and go, "What the hell is this thing?"
Well, that and the shape is completely wrong.
Well, the shape is wrong, yes.
It's no. It's just a lot of half moons put together. That's what a pizza is.
They're triangles.
Pizza's made of
a
moon.
pizza is a lot of half moons with points on them.
It's a
Pointy
yin-yang.
half moons.
Yeah,
20 moons.
really long, elongated half moons.
This is how they invented pizza. This is how they invented the circle.
That's where they got the
They
cheese.
looked up
Yes.
they looked up at the moon. They're like, pizza.
That is
the
where
ancient Italians and Greeks were both like, war
It's where the cheese
or
came
moon
from.
food.
I like moon food.
Yes.
We'll get there.
It
one
has
day.
cheese on it.
Well, anyway, so for the first section for here, we'll bring up some stupid questions that isn't moon pizza. And we have a middle section that we're going to cover some random other questions. We're going to do favorites today, and then we have some audience questions. So anyways, John, what was your topic for today?
So, in the John Wick movies, they have like coins.
Mhm.
And it's not really a currency because the same thing can be used to buy a drink or a car. So it's more like, here, do me a favor. So my question is, for either a coin or some value of a favor, what is the biggest thing that you would do for a coin? And what's the smallest thing that you would pay a coin for?
The smallest thing you would
Like,
pay a coin for?
like a drink or holding a door
Oh.
open for you versus I'd be willing to kill someone for a coin.
Wait, these special John Wick coins?
Yeah.
These special
That's what
John
he
Wick
just said, yeah.
coins.
I've never seen John Wick, so I'm in the
Okay.
So, okay.
You know the concept though.
Let's
Like
just-
you can
cover the
So
concept.
for a favor, a
They're literally
coin,
favor coins.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I
to do a
get it.
favor for someone, what's the smallest thing that you could have done for you that you would consider a favor? And what is the biggest thing that you would do for someone that you would consider just one favor? Like if you're giving away your house to someone, that's more than a favor. That's more than
Yeah,
one
that's
John
not a
Wick coin.
favor.
I think so. I mean, like,
But if you're a billionaire and you have 16 houses, giving someone a house might be a favor.
yeah, but are all those houses favors or are those?
Well, this
houses
is the
money?
shitty house that they
this
just
is-
bought
yeah.
for their mistress.
It's not the mansion; it's the McMansion.
Yeah, their mistress has displeased them and they don't have her anymore. So here,
yes.
have the house.
I don't know. I think in general, if I was to get a coin, it'd probably be for like give somebody a kidney or something.
So that's the biggest thing you would do. You
Yeah.
give
Probably give a
Okay.
kidney.
To get it, I was thinking like,
no,
what would I
like-
spend
well,
it on?
it's the two questions. The biggest thing that you would do to get a coin and the smallest thing that someone could do for you that you'd be willing to pay them a coin for.
I'd probably do the unlimited stay in a hotel for the stay that I wish to be there for. I think that's a pretty decent version of spending a coin. A nice hotel,
Yeah.
not a Swedish inn.
They're not going to kick you out, but you
Yeah.
could leave tomorrow, you could leave in a month.
Yeah. My own unlimited
When you
stay.
recover from giving away your kidney.
Yes. Well, the bathtub was full of ice.
However long that lasts.
Exactly.
Well, for me, I guess the biggest would be giving both my kidneys.
You'd
that
kill
would be
yourself.
that would be a
You're just,
favor.
you're just hooked up to a dialysis machine for the rest of your life.
It would be a really nice coin, though.
I would spend
all
both.
all coins are the same. There's no change.
I would spend.
Well, I would find the right register.
I will give you both of my kidneys for 1 coin. And then like flash forward an hour later, I'll give you 1 coin for 1 kidney back, please. I didn't think this through.
I'll give you the coin back for a dialysis machine.
Please. No, give me my kidney back.
No, like I don't know what I would do for that, because like to me that means that there's, I don't know, like I think that most of the things would be negative for somebody, because they're not going to ask you to do something positive on most things. So I don't know. Probably giving an organ would probably be the biggest one. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Smallest would probably be a drink, like because there's sometimes just that
If I
day.
have a lot of coins in it, I probably.
Well, no, even if there's one, because if you have those days where you're like, damn it, I forgot my wallet at home, but I have this coin.
Well, the neat thing about the coins is that they technically don't have a limit to the time frame that you can get that favor for. So like if you're like, I want a drink, but they're like, oh yeah, well you can just, as long as you're inside this bar with that coin, you can drink as much as you want.
Yeah, but that's still that's going towards the middle of the limit. Like if it's just like you're in the middle of the
thing.
if you're in the middle of the desert and they're like, would you like a water? I'd be like, no. I want alcohol.
I want a
booze.
pina colada.
I want to.
All I have is this water. Get out of here.
He just reaches into his little ice box on his ice cream truck thing, and he's like, okay, I guess I'll make it right here.
So Michael, what would yours be?
Well, I'm thinking of the biggest favor I've actually ever done for somebody, and I gave them $2,000 one time to pay their rent for a few months.
Did they give you a coin?
They didn't give me a coin. They didn't give me anything. It was something I did. It was a favor.
You're supposed to get a coin.
I wanted a coin, but I didn't get a coin.
That is a favor, though.
Yeah.
But if I was to spend one of those coins, maybe picking up and dropping somebody off at an airport or something, that would be the small end.
You picking you up at the airport?
No,
or?
picking them up. And
The smallest
That'd be the
thing that
smallest
you
thing.
would accept in exchange for a coin.
Oh,
So
I guess being picked up from the airport then.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm getting gypped when I drop them off for
You
free.
need the special
Yeah.
coins. But no, the biggest thing I've ever done for anybody was $2,000 for rent for a few months.
That's pretty big, to be honest. Yeah.
No, it took it out of me. It was a very close friend.
I once complimented somebody for having a nice hat. That's the biggest thing I've ever done.
wait,
Was it
how
you?
nice was the hat?
Yeah. Was it you or was it
Pretty
was somebody
fancy
else?
hat.
It wasn't Kyle, because these are just like,
No, my hats are generic.
yeah, they're pretty generic, but
But they've got the flag on it, and you.
it's got
I know,
it's
it
got a
doesn't matter.
detachable flag. He can change his allegiance whenever he wants.
Wait, Kyle, do you have a little Velcro?
America.
No,
Is
Kyle.
it Oakley underneath?
Yes.
like your third
I'm now
eye.
beholden to Oakley.
No, Kyle, I have to ask you this honestly. Do you have a Canadian Velcro flag in a closet somewhere?
You know what? If I ever get deployed near Canadians, that will definitely happen. That is a thing that routinely will happen, where they'll just
Changes his hat.
you'll get unit patches because somebody will have like 8 of them in their pack. Like
Wait,
I have
a Canadian unit patch?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I have at least 8 of my unit patches just in my gear, just all over the place, just in case I forget it or I get somebody else, mainly because somebody else might need it.
Like a
But,
TF2
like,
spy.
Yeah, like you just start like if you ever get tossed over with somebody else from a different nationality, you're just chuck your unit patch at them, and then they'll chuck one back at you.
Oh, wow, that sounds aggressive.
Yep.
Yeah,
An act of war.
No,
America's attacking you literally.
Wait, what happens if they don't check one back?
You just get it free.
Well, then you go
free
take it by
stuff.
force, obviously.
Yeah, America. There's a flag over there. That means we own you.
Exactly. You took my flag. I'm getting one of yours. But no, yeah, it's a lot of fun. So stuff like that is the thing that happens. But obviously, underneath this is not a French flag. It's a
It's a
Oakley flag.
corporation.
No, he just swaps them.
Because
It
secretly behind America is the corporation.
It looked like he had a third eye because
Well,
the
that's how
Oakley symbol.
Yeah,
It looked
well,
like
exactly.
This is what he's been doing the whole time. He can see the future.
That's how the CIA works. They just wear Oakley hats.
Good to know.
Well, Kyle, what was your topic?
My topic was actually something that I had thought up. It was somewhat related to something else I've been talking about before, but I had been thinking about it's the Halloween season. It is a fantastic time of year. It's my favorite time of year.
Yeah.
So I was thinking back to because we were playing on the stream night. It was just last night, and
Plain Fish and Cleanup Detail.
Plain Fish and Cleanup Detail, but on Argo streams, by the way, on the Argo Zone, if you haven't been watching.
No, it's not called the Argo Zone on Twitch. It's Argo Damon.
Okay, sorry.
The Argo Damon.
Whatever.
I think
It's
there's a
on,
channel
just
somewhere.
look up his name and then Twitch. But we were playing like B movie horror. We were cleaning up the house, and I was like, man, I really love B horror movies. So you can either answer it in one different, because there was a second part of this. It was either you can answer it, what was your favorite B movie of all time, or what is your favorite B movie game? Because that's actually a really hard question. Like, what is a game that was like made that was just a pile of crap, but like you just loved it dearly? Like, answer one of those two different questions.
Favorite? The Howling 3.
The Howling 3.
Yeah, they had marsupial wolves as marsupial werewolves.
Mm.
Like there was a little town in the middle of backwoods Australia called Flow, and the big reveal was when you look at the Flow sign backwards, it spells wolf.
That's actually
they had a scene where a ballerina turned into a wolf mid like pirouette because of all the flashing lights and like ate the man who was supposed to catch her after a jump. It was an amazing B movie.
See, like my B movie, because I literally couldn't think of any B games because all of the games that I like are pretty well made. But like my B movie has to be, I think it's Critters.
The little fuzzball?
Yeah. It's
Like
the one
the
where
Furbies that were half mouth?
The Furbies that were just teeth. Yeah. That was my favorite B movie. It's if you haven't seen it, it's a fantastic movie, and it's just like Halloween 3. It's kind of like little creatures, and they'll eat you down to your little bones.
They rolled instead
And
of
they
walking,
rolled.
didn't they?
But
I
they
haven't
also
seen the movie.
But they also talk because they're aliens, and it's great. It's like Gremlins, but like horrifically gory. It's great.
I have one for both. My favorite B movie was a canon film, but I think that was for a lot of people. Was it
Sure.
Canon?
Well, canon is B movies all over.
Yeah, but that's what they were known for, and that's what they were great at. But there was I forgot the name of it, but it was like the two barbarian brothers that were like super beef twins.
Oh,
You remember? It was like, yeah, and they were like surfer dudes, but like in the medieval times or something, and they were just all treated like, dude, it was so bad. Their acting it redefined the low bar of acting.
Did they fight Nazis?
Probably somewhere in there. It was so bad.
It was either Nazis or it was biker gangs. One of those
Caveman Nazis.
But
I
it
would
was-
watch biker gangs fight Nazis.
But it was a fun movie.
Biker gangs are mostly neo.
If you wanted to watch Italian movies,
some of
you'd
them.
probably find one of them in there.
But I did have a game too. That was Lord of the Rings: War of the North. And yeah, I looked at it before. It's not even on Steam anymore. You cannot buy it anymore.
Oh no, we were
The
talking
one-
about
the
this.
one with the talking
yeah, we
eagles.
were talking about this a
Yeah.
while ago.
And so it is so bad. And it's a 3-person game where you basically play as a human, an elephant, and a dwarf. But the voice acting was so bad, and it was the gameplay was horrible, but it had a charm to it that was hilarious. And so while it was trying to be serious, you play with a couple people, and we were crying, laughing at how bad it was. So it was a memorable experience, like where you were mentioning. It's a bad game, but if you check the right boxes, you could make it good. It was frustrating. There was a lot of crashes, but I still have ingrained in my memory, like a dwarf walking up to a random wall, and his special ability is you can see minerals, and he had the only one voice on, and that was, not all that glitters is gold, but this is. And you would hear him like go wall to wall saying it over and over again. We're like, and it doesn't matter. It's like, oh, is he across the map? Gold. And I'm like, oh, it's so bad.
I remember when I was a kid, there was a movie that I watched called Munchie. And it was about a little critter that just ran around like, I want to eat the kids, hang out with the kids like this little gremlin. They're like, I'm going to eat some pizza. Oh, tacos. He just ran around with the kids and they went on adventures. He's like, he just kept eating everything.
Did you grow up to become this thing?
I grew up to become this thing, but the movie was so bad. I remember vividly my mother apologizing for having rented the movie, and me being
I'm
like,
so sorry.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was amazing.
It's because you were a child.
Yeah.
You didn't know any better.
How old were you? Because if you say you were 13,
I was like probably 8 or 9.
Yeah, that's still within the
Yeah.
age
And
group, if you don't know
just
better.
his little
8 or 19.
Yeah, this is a little weird. That's all he did. He just ate and ate and ate and ate. And I think they were running from the government or something. I don't remember.
It's like the Hungry Caterpillar, the movie.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh God, what is that Red Letter Media movie that they saw where they pushed the kid off the waterfall in the wheelchair?
Oh God, that's one that we put on Conan.
Oh yeah.
That what is
Damn
it?
I want to say
Paul-
Ed Wood,
Paul-
but that's completely wrong.
It's definitely not Paul.
It's Mike and Me or something like that.
Oh, that.
Was it Mike and Me?
No,
Yeah,
it
that
was
sounds
something
right.
like- it's
That
something like-
It sounds close.
It's something in me. Oh, it's gonna bug me.
It's
Why did you
I've
mention
done
it?
this. I've done this. I'm
Mikey
sorry.
and Me or
This
something.
happens a lot.
Oh, no,
Does that sound?
I'm
Was
gonna
that?
have-
Did that
Red
have a
Letter
kid who
Red
drowned
Letter
in a,
Media
he
something,
drowned in
something,
a school
something.
bus?
Yes.
Don't look
No?
up Munchie. Scary.
Munchie and Me?
Munchie and Me. Yes.
But
Just
Munchie and Me sounds like something that is this. Is it? Was it a '90s movie? It sounds very '90s.
It was a 90s movie.
Of course it
for
was.
sure.
Marley and Me.
The '90s were a drug-fueled, maddened
Mac and Me.
craze. Mac and Me. There
yes.
you go.
The little alien monster.
Yes.
Yes.
Who loved McDonald's? He
Yeah.
loved McDonald's.
If you don't know that, if you don't know that meme,
Paul
look up
Rudd.
Paul Rudd Conan
Yes.
meme,
Yes.
and him with Conan it's some of them are
hilarious.
very well edited. Like they did full editing, and it was so.
Yes.
How long has he done that for? Like over a decade. The same show,
Too long.
all the way through Marvel and
Too
everything.
long.
I hope he does it on Conan's new show
I
Wait,
think
Conan has a new show?
on HBO. I think.
no,
yeah.
he dropped his
TBS.
his TBS, and he was
He dropped TBS.
because he was doing a podcast.
Huh.
He was going into full podcast
Yeah.
stuff, which I can see because his biggest
Well, 'cause
comedy
I know
is
he
what
was
does.
doing YouTube shows where he was just playing video games with
Oh, no,
no experience.
But that was on
that was-
Conan.
that was on Conan.
It was
yeah.
on Conan, yeah, and that was actually kind of funny.
Conan O'Brien was definitely holding back due to the studio influence.
Yeah.
So
He had-
him being let loose on the leash is probably
He
the best
had
for
the
everybody.
masturbating bear as one of his returning bits.
Well, that was different.
Well, it
Like,
was different.
when you did the late night show, it became more,
Yeah.
I think, family friendly. Before that, when he was just doing like a
Mhm.
Coco full whatever, he basically had more full reign on
Yeah,
things.
he did,
No,
yeah.
Conan is a fantastic comedian. Like he is,
He is very good. Yes,
He's
I will.
tall.
and he can. I
very
don't know.
tall.
I don't know how he can stop from laughing on most of the things that he does. But
Just his relationship with Stephen Colbert.
Like, yeah,
Mhm.
everything.
Those crossovers with Jon Stewart and Stephen
I
Colbert.
I would fully
amazing.
admit that I hate late night TV, but Conan O'Brien has his moments.
I did find. Didn't he Stephen Colbert won an Emmy or something, and Conan O'Brien went up on stage to accept the award with him, even though he had nothing to do.
That's funny.
Yes.
Yeah, it
It's
was
just like
amazing.
screw this. I think Conan O'Brien's definitely into the screw the system sort of vibe, and I
and so
appreciate
is Stephen Colbert.
it. And
so.
definitely
Yeah.
Stephen Colbert. Yeah.
Um,
Who was that Scottish asshole who had a TV show?
Craig
Ferguson.
Craig Ferguson. Craig Ferguson was the best late night show host of all
yeah,
time.
I
Did
didn't.
you-
very
I didn't
short
like
lived.
all of his comedy, but he had some gold bits.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think in general,
Jon
I think,
Stewart, though.
Jon Stewart
Jon
was.
Stewart's-
He got it.
He
He has a,
redefined.
he
a lot of
did.
comedy.
he has a
Yeah.
new show now.
Yeah, he does. As
Yeah.
an apple.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Hmm.
It sounds interesting. It's just like him on a campfire.
He kept saying he was never going to do anything like that again, and then he came back.
Well, he can't get out of the spotlight.
No, he
Money.
can't.
Oh.
This
He has
cider is
money.
completely ruined by the smoke
Yeah,
that
a
we
little
had.
bit.
I think it's all right cider.
It's fine.
Hey, you can add some smoke.
Please God, no.
It's local.
Yes, that. You
I
can
think
add some alcohol.
That should have been at the end. Like I can only taste
You wouldn't be able to drive home.
char. Huh?
No, beer before liquor never been sicker.
This
No,
is
no,
it's
you-
cider. Cider.
But in your stomach, it's all the same.
cider before. There's no rhyme for cider. It
Cider before mezcal?
doesn't work.
That does not work.
Does not work.
So,
Cider with orange. You're.
It's good. It's good cider actually.
Damn it.
Cider with orange.
Anyways, so okay, I think Kyle's one is done. That went
Yeah.
to Conan.
Yes.
So mine kind of was going off of like a John topic that he used to bring up a lot. So like King Kong and Godzilla, because that used to be one you'd always like to bring up. So my thought was, so like with King Kong, you have like a giant lizard, and with
No, you don't.
not King Kong. My question is,
Immediately off the rails.
King Kong and
King Ghidorah, you've got a giant.
so
I love
King,
King Kong and his gigantic laser breath.
so with King Kong, you have a giant monkey. With Godzilla, you have a
Big
giant
monkey.
lizard, and then like you have Mothra with the giant moth. And my thought is if the like series were to go forward and say we need a new monster, what animal would you want it to be?
You've had so many. You've got the giant turtle. You've got
I know,
the
but they
giant
need a new one.
pterodactyl.
I
You've got the giant blob monster, the giant flower,
I want
Yeah,
a
but
giant
now they
hamster.
need to branch out. What are they?
the
covering?
giant crab.
No,
Ooh,
crabs
the
are
one with the knife.
crabs are yeah.
No, or sorry,
Dun, dun,
it was a
dun, 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 dun.
lobster.
I want a giant hamster because that would be adorable.
No, see, like I had actually a couple. One, I would want a giant rabbit. Because I want to see it jump and then never come down.
It just leaves orbit. It goes, I'm gonna get you.
It just keeps going.
And then like Godzilla's like,
He's trying to shoot it from the ground, but the other one was a fainting goat.
ooh, fainting was good.
Because
And then it crushes buildings.
I know it's like here it comes. That's just his attack.
Oh God, he's gonna faint again.
Or I was thinking a giant stuffed bear.
You know what? You know what?
It doesn't move, but they just do like epic camera angles the whole time.
No,
Ta-da!
I'm gonna go.
Ta-da!
I'm gonna go fully terrifying. I want.
Da-da! Da-da!
I'm gonna.
It's Teddy Ruxpin!
I know what I want. I want a giant woman with the curlers in her hair and the nightie, and the Godzilla just like spilt her coffee and she grew to a huge size.
Wait,
and she's just
Is this like
Have
Power
you
Rangers?
No, Michael, have you seen the latest?
90s Karen in full size.
she's just angry.
This might be a spoiler for Suicide Squad, but they have that.
Oh God, they do no. Oh
They-
yes, they do.
They have a giant woman with curlers in her hair and a nightie.
It's your mom.
I want
That
this
is an
You
amazing.
haven't seen Suicide Squad.
No,
have
I
you?
haven't. Oh, I've
Okay.
seen-
So that
So
is
not
an-
the old Suicide Squad, the new Suicide
good
Squad,
one, and-
the good one.
and that
Okay.
is a spoiler. That we
That is
that
a
we-
good
No,
one.
that's not a. It's a
really
spoiler
not.
and
You
an
have
advertisement.
literally,
It's
you have
both,
literally
but
no idea what's going on.
yes.
It's
That's
a
fine.
spoiler.
Yeah.
Kyle.
Well, I was gonna say a house centipede, but like that's lame. So
No, that would be kind of neat. That would be.
it's all legs.
That's already in a movie. It's called Dune.
It's no.
It
It's
doesn't have
all
the
legs.
Oh,
You
the
ever seen a
house
house centipede?
centipede.
Have you seen a house centipede? They're literally
I'm
Yeah.
thinking like Caterpie.
I
paper
was thinking
thin
human
segments
centipede.
about the size of a pencil lead, like a
They are the
0.5 millimeter pencil
creepiest
lead,
thing
and they
ever.
have legs for days.
Dude, they-
legs for days.
Isn't that a millipede?
No, that's the house centipede.
They must die.
Ah.
But they do very easily because they're literally made out of tissue paper. They're just legs. They have no. They're segmented legs, and when you hit them with a piece of Kleenex, they literally disintegrate into legs.
Well, that's what their weakness is. They should jump a giant Kleenex.
yeah. Well, I'm totally fine with them being. They keep down the household pets or pests.
They keep yes.
Fluffy, no.
It's just swarmed with centipedes.
Wow.
Well,
This
we
is
had
dark.
too many cats, but now it's a good number.
crawling
No,
inside
it's
the
just
house.
centipedes.
Well, like they're gross and they can stay in the dark places where they belong. But if they
Yeah.
come into the light where us normal people live, then they get to die. That's just how it works. It's like with spiders. Like they can stay as long as I don't see them and they're inside the house, then they're totally free to do whatever they want. But as soon as I see them, then they're dead.
Now I'm just
Spiders don't
imagining-
get as big here. as
No,
they
they
No,
don't. No.
but now I'm just imagining the kaiju-sized house centipede. It's actually it's actually a good guy. It doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't destroy any
It's
buildings.
so- it's
but
so
still,
delicate.
It must die.
Yeah,
just
it's-
like the first army unit that's dispatched to it. Yeah, it just dies instantly.
Yeah.
But we need to kill it, wipe it from the earth, because that thing is creepy. Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
exactly. Well, I mean, to be honest, you could probably walk up to it with like a knife and kind of go, and it would just fall over.
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
go.
So
It would,
Well, I was
like,
gonna say,
evaporate.
the other one I was thinking about was a sloth.
no, that was mine.
Because I want
A
to.
giant sloth is actually a thing, but a kaiju sloth.
Yeah, you're looking. It's like,
Yes.
oh no, Slothra's
What
coming.
kind of
Slothra,
No. What would Slothtron? Not Sloth.
No,
but
it would be
Slothtron.
Slothron versus Slothra.
Yeah,
Well, it would be the slowest battle of all time.
But what would their powers be?
Only pooping like once a month.
What?
That's with the sloth.
No, I
which
understand,
one?
but how's that a power?
That's the power of the sloth.
But they move only 4 inches every month.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you only pooped once a month, that would be a superpower.
The poop is moving faster than they
Would
are.
it not?
Yeah,
But I just want to see, like, look out in the distance.
This is
You're like,
a adult stream.
I just want to see, like, out in the distance, like, Slothra's coming. We have at least 6 months before he gets here.
Yeah.
It's like if you ever to see Neon Genesis Evangelion, and it's just like the sloth is coming, and then you just like they put the robot up. Wait.
Because you see the guy in this, like, what is that, Pacific Rim? The guy in the suit, and he's like, I'm moving as fast as I can, and things just...
And they're running towards the sloth, and there's the hilltop defenses, and they just vanish in like a blazing light, and they're just like, what do they do?
And every
It's
time
like
you go to punch, he disappears, and he like suddenly like goes like full Super Saiyan, like
No,
Super Saiyan sloth.
Super Saiyan sloth
twice
would
the
move at
speed.
least twice as fast as sloth.
What a sloth.
Moving at the lightning normal
or-
speed of people.
Or at least a quarter of normal human speed. Goth.
I don't know what that was for.
Oh, it's so fast.
Yeah.
You can actually see it moving.
Yeah, it's moving.
Faster than the speed
right.
of
Well,
light.
since you took my sloth idea, the only thing that I have left is just a Power Ranger.
Just a normal
Power
Power
Ranger,
Ranger.
yeah.
Just a giant Power Ranger. They had those. Those were in the
No,
show.
no, that was
No,
the Megazords.
not in the Zoid, just a giant Power Ranger.
Yeah,
They did
was
that a
in the
few
show.
times. Yeah.
They had a
Yeah.
10-story tall,
Yeah,
just
I actually
teen
think
and
they
a
did.
helmet.
They ran out of budget a couple of seasons. It had to happen.
No, they did. The
wasn't
whole
a budget.
Power
That's
Rangers was
cool.
a whole other show edited until they like were like, wait, this is making more money than the
Super
original.
Sentai.
Yeah.
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 Super Sentai. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there was a whole other show that they spliced in recordings in a high school into a Japanese other show, and to make the original. Then it definitely took on its own thing in America, where they were recording.
I
things.
don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, no, that's what makes it great because it's so different.
Super
between-
Sentai?
Well,
Super
they did
Sentai.
the same thing for
I have only ever seen the
Beetleborgs and
cartoons
all of
on the
those.
TV. Like I've only ever done that.
What? Well, yeah, because you're young.
Yeah. Well, you keep taking all of my
28.
ideas.
You're the youngest
yeah,
person
I'm
here.
20.
Yeah,
By
37,
like- I'm not
36,
young.
and
34.
Yeah,
34.
so you're
So, okay, fine. I've got another idea. A giant bicycle.
There you go.
There you go.
its
Yes.
special attack is the bell.
No, it can't stop.
Ring ring, and the skyscrapers fall over.
It's not that it can't
Wait,
be
wait.
stopped. It's that if it is stopped, it dies.
And then
coming
thousands
forever.
die. It's ding,
Still have the
and
bell.
then thousands die.
Yes.
Okay. Anyways, that one went on quite a
Yes.
while. Michael, what is your topic?
Okay, it took me a while to figure this out today.
No.
What?
The entire
You
stream
mean like
so far.
4 o'clock?
Yeah, like I had to
Yeah.
really think on this one. Like the vegetables from Vegetales. Like, what do they eat? Like, do they
they
eat
don't.
other
I
vegetables?
was almost going to do a
It's
vegetarian.
photosynthesis.
I'm glad you didn't, because that was all I
Michael.
could come
No,
up with.
no,
Michael.
it is not
What?
photosynthesis.
No.
They're not attached to the vine anymore.
They're not.
Some of them have leaves.
Well, Michael, what does
I have
vegetables-
tried to ripen tomatoes off of the vine before. It doesn't work.
Well, okay.
Larry the tomato,
They would rot
There's-
if they
there's-
didn't consume.
Larry the cucumber, and Tom.
Yes, they're in the final stage of their life. They're
Yeah.
like mayflies. They're going to die.
Yeah, how long? The episodes are like a half hour long, and
Yeah.
and
You put them all
Every,
together.
si-
a vegetable
every
can
single
survive.
time they rot by the end of the
Yeah.
episode.
No.
It's every night.
You
it's a
put
new
all the
cucumber.
episodes together, you get 24 hours, and then they're dead. They're like mayflies.
Yeah.
Well, my thought was like, is eating other vegetables for a vegetable like cannibalism, or do they just have a solid diet of meat?
Well,
No, they
it's
eat-
not
they eat
cannibalism unless they're eating their own type of vegetable.
Oh, okay.
Like
You-
if Larry the cucumber is eating a tomato, that's not cannibalism.
Wait a minute.
You think Bob would be a little upset by that, though?
He would, but
Well, I don't know. Maybe Bob's culture like accepts this type of thing.
I'm just imagining a world in which they're trying to create substitutes for for veg because they like vegetables, but they don't want to eat vegetables because they want to be healthy. So they eat like eyeballs and call them like sub grapes.
No.
Like
They
impossible grapes.
they did a thing. Wasn't it like when Larry the cucumber turned into a superhero? What was the Plunger
Super
for
Larry
Ears?
was great.
What was Plunger for Ears called?
That was Super Larry. They weren't.
Was
very
it just called Super Larry?
That was what was great about it. Is they didn't give him a creative name. They just added Super Larry.
Okay,
Like,
so
you never know
Super
who he
Larry.
is.
I swear to God, he ate a hot dog at one point. but
He's
I
just
don't.
a green
It's
hot
so
dog.
long ago.
Wait a second.
He is a green hot dog. I know he's a green hot dog,
No.
but he probably. I think he ate a hot dog.
Were
didn't
any of the Vegetales soybeans?
Yes.
he? Yes.
There were
Well,
soybeans?
there were
I'm
there were
pretty sure.
peas.
There were peas.
There were a lot
There
of-
were no soybeans.
Well,
So,
how
Did they
you
eat
know?
tofu? Did they eat their
Yeah,
own?
tofu replaces everything.
But did they
does.
eat their own?
Do they eat each other is the question. The real question, given that the context of the show, was eating the body of Christ like their version of veganism? Because like
The potato skins of life.
he
Wait,
like
what was
they were
what
drinking.
vegetable was
Actually,
Jesus
what
in
vegetable
that?
was Jesus?
What, is he a vegetable?
He's definitely a potato.
Like if he was a meat man, though, they would be okay with that.
Jesus is definitely a potato.
Okay.
No, now I'm just thinking because potatoes
Or-
come from the Americas.
Or he's arugula, something.
No, potatoes come from the Americas. So the only way that Jesus could be a potato is if we're dealing with Mormonism.
Yeah, so the Mormons were right
Oh, okay, so that's about right.
by
yeah.
vegetal logic.
So the Mormon Jesus was a potato.
Yes. So
no.
what would real Jesus? What vegetable? He would be like what?
Chickpea. He'd be a chickpea hummus.
Chickpea. You're right. He would be because he's from the. No. Well, chickpeas are more Mediterranean though than they are.
That's gonna make drinking his
Everything he
blood.
touches turns to hummus.
Yes.
Oh no. Oh God, it's back to the same one.
It was gonna be
That's
said.
how the water to wine works.
Why couldn't
Oh God.
why couldn't you have made it easier for the vegetal people to drink his blood if it was people blood, because then they wouldn't feel bad about it.
Yeah, he turns water to hummus.
Yes.
Mm,
Wait, that's actually like even weirder.
Chunky
that's
water.
worse. I don't like chunky water.
No.
I do like hummus though.
Well,
I like Jesus as a potato.
I don't want to
though.
drink hummus.
what would
You can
tomato
water it
juice?
down enough.
I don't want to water it down. That would make
Watery
it worse.
hummus?
I don't want watery hummus.
No,
You have to make it drinkable.
He turns wine into blood, and then they drink the blood.
Yes,
Yeah.
because you don't want
The
to.
hummus drinks the blood.
You don't,
worse.
you don't want to
wanna-
offend
what?
the grapes.
Exactly. You want to drink blood. You don't want to drink
There
grape
are
juice.
grapes. You're right.
Yeah.
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 Do you think alcohol would be? Maybe if you drink vodka, it would be like drinking the.
Can
blood
you
of
ferment
Jesus.
people?
Yes.
There you go.
There you go. That's what they'll do. 'Cause
Well,
that's
no.
It's easier to ferment diabetics because they're
You
not
can't-
processing sugar. So
How did I guess that?
John, no. Please no.
I'm just imagining cucumbers and tomatoes and drinking wine glasses full of blood, and like this is the healthy choice from their.
And this was
perspective.
your question? Was what VeggieTales would?
Yeah. What do they eat?
So I love how Michael's topic is cannibalism.
no, it's getting away from cannibalism.
Mine was
Yes,
nice and
it's
wholesome.
cucumbers eating people.
Yeah,
Well,
cucumbers.
It's
should
like
eat
Attack
now.
of the Killer Tomatoes. They
Oh,
weren't
what a-
cannibals.
Have you
No.
ever seen the movie?
Yes.
Oh,
The
God.
helicopter scene was
Have you guys
amazing.
seen those?
No.
No.
Oh no, John.
So
we need
just the
this
story
so
of the
bad.
helicopter scene.
Oh my God.
They had they were filming, and then a helicopter crashed in the background of a scene,
Yes.
and they kept filming.
Oh my God.
And because nobody died in that helicopter crash, they kept it in the movie.
Who was flying
It's
it?
actually pretty cool.
it wasn't. It was.
He didn't die. He was just horribly disfigured.
Yeah, but
I don't
he
remember-
didn't die, so they
there you
kept it in the movie,
I hope
and they
they paid
never
him.
addressed it in the movie.
No,
it was just,
it-
just
It was a. It was
Why
a.
did
It was
it
a
crash?
crop dusting helicopter.
because
if I recall.
they had an accident in the cockpit. Like
Yeah.
he legitimately crashed the helicopter.
And it started on
What
fire.
kind of, the only accident I can think of in a helicopter is if he pooped his pants or something.
No,
like,
well,
what,
I mean,
what do you do in a helicopter?
This is the 19.
Spilled your drink?
Helicopters are harder to fly than
I know,
planes.
but
Wait,
they
when
are.
was the is it 60s or the
think-
50s?
No, I think it was either 60s or 70s because
No,
they had,
if it was a helicopter, it must have been the
No,
late
'cause-
60s or early 70s
'cause
because
they
the
had some-
Vietnam War was the earliest helicopter military deployment.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
but
they had
helicopters
some
was before
pretty
that.
big
They
racist
they had the
jokes in that show.
Yes, well they had the Korean helicopters that they did for MASH.
Well,
MASH had the Korean
yes,
helicopters.
but they were racist against the Japanese.
Well, but the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, I think, must have been in the late 60s, and then. But even back then, the helicopter technology was very new.
Yeah.
So, like, an accident basically was, you accidentally over-rotated or pulled the auxiliary into a weird nonsense and then just crashed.
Somebody's going to look this up and then like leave a comment about how wrong everybody is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about helicopters,
That's
but
why
I
I
can bullshit you all
Yeah.
day.
That's
I'll
why I
do
like
it.
giving
I'll
it-
do it all day.
That's my life.
Giving fake truths and then making people correct you is engagement.
But John,
Yes.
you normally are right though. So 90% of the time you're right. So at least then if you're bullshitting, you're bullshitting correctly. So.
Yeah, I have answers for everything, and they're
Steamboat Willie.
yes, Steamboat Willie,
Steamboat Willie.
Fran Drescher.
The difference between you and me is that I will bullshit somebody and I'll just say something completely common sense wise.
Your batting average is a little lower than mine, but other than that, it's the same.
Yeah.
Helicopters are capable of space travel. I know this.
Michael's born in
So are
Kentucky.
rabbits.
Yes.
Anyway, go out circle.
So, are we now going to the whiz?
Yeah, well,
The whiz.
well, do we need to do a whiz?
That is a dangerous question
So-
because you might not now.
Okay, so
No, I'm fine.
Okay, so we'll give it a second. So the next part we're gonna do is favorites. Kyle kind of already gave a favorite.
Yeah.
Before the
Question.
stream?
No, you did just now. You gave
Just
your
now.
question was a favorite.
Your question was a favorite. You've
Oh my! Yeah, I technically did. Was the favorite
Okay,
movie thing?
you
But
gave
yeah,
2 and 1.
I did give 2 and 1. But
Okay.
the
No, wait, no. We're going left to right.
yeah.
You take your turn, Kyle. Yeah, you feel sad.
I need more alcohol.
Are we going to cut it?
No,
no.
go John. Go John.
So,
What are they cut?
favorite. The question that I have for favorite, following the premise of the middle question, what is your favorite scene from a movie? Any movie. And
Okay, I can answer this
I
right
will
away
go
too.
first just to, because I've been thinking about this.
Yeah.
My favorite scene from a movie is the first T-Rex scene from Jurassic Park.
Ooh, that's a good one.
What happened to the goat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All the way from that to the car going over the cliff.
that's like a 15-minute thing.
Yeah, but it's all just, it's not one shot, but it hits the lawyer. He left us. He left us.
No, that was
He put his pants down too.
that was
Yeah.
really cool.
What a nerd!
And at that time, that was
Amazing special effects.
Mhm.
I
Yes.
saw that in
it's still
theaters.
good now.
Did
It
you?
was my first PG-13 movie.
'Cause that
What movie was this?
There was no
Jurassic Park.
the first
Okay.
one. Because there was no 3D effects.
No.
No,
Because
it's all
that was
practical.
No, that's not true.
Well,
there
there
were
was
definitely
some.
3D effects in
there
Jurassic
was
Park.
some.
Over half of that
No,
was
there was
practical.
a lot of it.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
but
The scene he's talking about is mostly practical.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why it is
Mostly
great because
practical.
the
Just smacking the car across the road with the head of
With
a
the
mechanical-
animatronic?
Well,
Yes.
but a lot of that wasn't just animatronics; it was some fantastic camera work to make it all work.
Yeah.
That movie was a brilliant piece of work. So
I remember watching a documentary about the giant T-Rex, the practical effects one. They had to be real careful near it because it could hurt people.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Anything that big.
Yes.
it was basically a front-loaded crane. Basically,
No, it was as if the Jaws shark actually worked.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Which was funny because that thing was literally a pile of garbage, and they still managed to make it look terrifying.
But they had
Yeah.
to make that a great movie because it was hidden.
Yes,
The T-Rex in
Out in
Jurassic
the open.
Park was amazing, not because it was this hidden killer. It was because, that thing's not hiding.
Yes,
No, it's
but
right out there.
also the fact that they used that, and it was a full size animatronic that they used. It was gigantic.
Yeah.
But I think the only times it was 3D was when they had it from the
legs.
front legs down. When you
Yeah.
saw it outside of that, it was
But
it was
from
3D,
the setup,
but
from
it's just so
from
good.
the goat to
Mhm.
the water droplets, it had the perfect setup, the perfect high points of the guy getting eaten on the toilet to the ending of, okay, here's the car going off the road and everyone's screaming and
yeah, no, it was good.
everyone's dead.
So Kyle, what was yours?
So mine. Well, it's supposed to. Oh God!
Holy
I'm
crap.
sorry. My goodness. I have still ice cubes in a glass. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Clink.
It's between two. So there's my favorite comedic scene, and there's my favorite scene overall. I'll go with the overall scene, which had to probably be Aliens. I know Alien is very, very good, and there's that ending scene in the movie where she is like everything's done, and then you see it crawl out of the like almost the corner. But I think the original opening scene, coupled with midway through the movie, where and this is where it really kind of gets to be a little bit like esoteric, but the Jesus Christ.
I opened it under the table.
Mine is way quieter.
People are
opening it
thirsty.
loud.
This is why I
But-
brought up the whiz.
The fact, so have you guys seen Aliens?
Yes.
I have. I
No.
don't think I have. but I
No?
know
Okay,
a bunch
so
of-
Never seen it.
I
me
know
and
a
John
bunch.
are the movie guys.
You need.
You need to watch the movie.
This is one of my potential
But-
questions: is what do you need to see?
Yeah.
This is a need to see. movie.
So in the movie Aliens, there is a scene where it is literally shot for shot, and this is before the DVD extra where they added in the director's cut, where it's literally shot for shot, them looking at a screen and looking at their faces, and they're looking at the screen and looking at the face, and they had set up machine guns in a tunnel to help to stop the aliens from moving forward. And then the tension in the scene is so like visually and emotionally palpable, them just watching the numbers count down on the bullets. There's 500 bullets in per machine gun, and it just counts down. And they're just watching the machine gun. You hear in the distance. Yeah, you hear in the distance. They don't hear the machine gun bullets, but you do. And you can hear da 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 da. You see the counter going down and down and down. And every single time you see the machine gun go down, you know it's killed another alien. And then just keeps going down and down and down and down, and then one machine gun goes empty, and the next one, and the next one, and it's just interspersed with cuts between this literal computer screen showing numbers and these characters going, oh, they're just like the tension is so well built, and it's one of my favorite scenes.
I love storytelling that can tell you one thing without telling you that thing. So without
specifically
you're showing a
you.
face.
They're showing in that scene. They are making you.
It's so perfect.
They're putting you in that chair because they don't care about the coolness factor at that point. All they care about is these people are scared shitless, and we want to make you feel that. And that is exactly what they did. No, I love that kind of storytelling.
And the build up between like one of these things has killed many people, and and if you've seen the original movie Alien and you go to Aliens, you're like, oh man, this one alien can kill everybody, and it's just down and another one and another one and another one and another one, and then it racks up the tension.
Again,
it's so good.
You guys need to watch.
Yeah, at some point.
Maybe
That's a movie night.
No.
Well, we're gonna probably watch a movie after this.
That's not that. It's pretty long.
So mine was probably one of my favorite movies, Speed Racer. The end race that they have go on there is spectacular. The whole thing is great, but they have like a stop.
Racer X.
Well, whatever the main guy is, not Racer X, I think is that Xer special guy. I can't remember. It's been a while since I saw it, but it's the main character in the movie when they're in a race. And there's this one part where something happens and everything comes to a stall and they're unsure if he's going to go forward. But then when he actually gets going again, there is this like the mix of the music and the cinematography is like painting in art. It was like, it's watching like a single camera shot of this car going through all this stuff, but having everything around it like mold in around it. Even though it's all in 3D, they have like everything mold around it and change. And even at the very end, they go like super fisheye, and then like it just ends with a tire melting. Literally, it just stops right in front of the camera with it literally dripping rubber onto the ground, and it was just. The whole thing was just art. It was one of my favorite scenes out of any movie, and I will rewatch that scene multiple times.
I have never seen this movie, but I have heard people like looking at the new Cowboy Bebop and saying, Speed Racer, they turned it into an actual movie, and I'm happy they did so because they invented a form of filmmaking for that movie. Mm-hmm. They did something that couldn't have been done without that movie.
Well, like Speed Racer, the interesting thing with that movie was that the art, so like a lot of the remakes are trying to bring the character into a real world. This one, just all the fantastical colors and the anime style, everything is still there. Like everything outside their house is like 3D animated stuff because they're trying to make it replicated to the original. So it's very fakey in a lot of senses, but the original was. So as long as you look at it to say like through the lens of the original, they did a fantastic job with the movie, but then the ending just was like color puke everywhere in the best way possible. And it was so good. Oh, I just want to watch it again now. I love that end.
I mean, I've never seen it either. I don't think anybody but here is, but you.
I need to buy it on DVD because I have a copy and I realize now that it's like 480.
I've never watched it.
Yeah.
And I need to get.
You've seen it, but you've never watched it.
Yeah.
It's like you
exists.
can probably see parts of it or something, but I need to get a good like HD copy if it even exists because that's like 2001.
I'm sure it's on the at least
It's
DVD.
no, it's not 2000.
No, it's like maybe 2008 or
it's
something.
2013 or something.
Yeah, it was a little older,
Okay.
but anyway.
So, Michael, did you pick a movie that other people have actually seen, like me?
or from 1970.
My favorite scene in any movie, and it's kind of an artistic movie, is from Sucker Punched.
Okay.
And it is the scene where they're fighting the steampunk Nazis. But in that scene, the scene where there's a bunny robot, like a mechanized Japanese bunny robot, flying into the sky and fighting biplanes. that is
That's
like
such a
my,
Michael answer. Though,
that is
but,
my
like, it's
cocaine.
great.
That movie
Yeah, but I
had
kinda
some
wanna see
great
that now.
scenes.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
I've never seen
Sucker
that.
Punch is
I've heard good things.
Sucker Punch is a trip. Like
It
it's straight up
is.
a trip.
It's not a good movie.
I wouldn't call it a good
but
movie.
it has amazing scenes.
Yes, I would
Yes.
not call it a good movie. I would
It's
definitely
a-
say it's a good. If you were to take each part of the
Yeah.
movie and cut it into pieces, it's definitely good.
The
It
whole
would be an amazing series of music videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like
Yeah.
the premise of Sucker Punch. You can throw away. It's fine if for what it serves its
Yeah.
purpose. The point of Sucker Punch is the visuals.
Yeah, the framing narrative in the psych ward, as
Yeah.
you said, you could probably get rid of that. They tried something and
Yeah.
they didn't quite do it.
It served its purpose. It was the setting to set everything else up. So
But like as you said, the rabbit fighting the Nazis
And
and,
the-
the biplanes,
Yeah,
or
and
the
the Mecha
giant
rabbit.
or the giant samurai,
There-
every one of those.
that whole
the
scene
rabbit.
where they're fighting their way through a bunch of steampunk Nazis with katanas and short miniskirts while White Rabbit plays is just mind-blowingly amazing to watch.
Wait, I
It's
forget.
like- it's
is
like-
it Dear Alice?
What's
What's the song?
the song White Rabbit? I think is the
Okay.
name of it.
It sounds like somebody that just had an idea for a bunch of really cool scenes and then just gave it a name and a like rough storyline.
Yeah, that's essentially what
No,
they
that's
did.
amazing because if sometimes I mean from doing like the animation and stuff is I can have some really cool ideas, but then how do you frame it in anything? Sometimes you just got to make some crap to go around it, and then you still get a good release. So
Like, if nobody's seen the movie Sucker Punch, just watch that scene. Like, there's amazing scenes where she's just fighting giant stone samurai with Gatling guns.
Yeah.
And like stuff like that's amazing. Or they're fighting dragons in a B-2 bomber.
Yeah.
Like that whole movie's on acid and it's amazing.
Well, all
Yeah,
of
it's a
those
trip.
scenes
Yeah.
are better than here's a woman's psych ward where they're going to cut apart someone's brain.
yeah, like
That's depressing and
Yeah.
doesn't really.
well, but it's kind of like some of my favorite music is metalcore because you get like a screaming with clean lyrics. So sometimes if you want something really good, you have to put like a contrast in there to make it so that when you move from the one that's like a bad thing to a different thing, it feels like a bigger jump.
Like the music video for Wire, where you just have clowns jumping through portals to fight vampires. Again, crazy. There is no setup that could make that make any sense.
Well, you can't
But-
make a story in a music video. You just throw in you skip to the middle of the movie and you make
It's
the climax.
clowns in a zeppelin, and then they open a portal based on the blood of one vampire that they have locked up in a corner after cutting out his eye, and then they fight the vampires and save the baby clown. But again, crazy setup. But you look at the visuals, and it's amazing.
yeah.
Well, anyway,
Watch Wire. Anyway, Kyle, what's your favorite question?
Yeah, what's your favorite question?
Yes.
What's my
That is
favorite
my
question? What's my favorite question? What's my question? Not,
Yes.
not a favorite question.
My favorite question is
So
what?
we were talking about this maybe last time before the stream.
What?
But we were talking about Mark Hamill and how his career has kind of like been basically voice acting and stuff.
Fantastic career.
He has had a fantastic career. And he's kind of quit being the Joker. He's
really.
Not really.
no, he did though.
No, he can't quit. He is the Joker. He
but
will
he
forever be the Joker.
He tried.
He tried to
before.
quit the Joker.
He's
okay.
tried
So,
as the
okay.
Joker like
I-
3 times.
Yes, I
and
will,
he's
I will, I
still
will
the
rephrase
Joker.
that.
Then
That
he
he's
meets in the
tried
house.
to quit the Joker a couple times, but like,
Can't quit you.
other than Star Wars, what is that one role that you would see Mark Hamill in? Like, would you see him in a rom com?
Wait,
Like
this seems
Mark
like-
Hamill in
Wait,
a rom com,
live action?
yes,
Live action?
yeah, like live action Mark Hamill.
Kyle, I
Is it
feel
like
like-
where is he?
I feel like-
where is he?
I feel like you reversed your questions. Because there's no favorite in this.
No, it's not. This is perfect.
We're going back.
Like, you can't fault me. I drank smoke wine for the first 30 seconds, for the first 20 minutes of the stream. What are you talking about?
We had a pre-roll for like 20 minutes. It's recorded.
It was like 20. It was
yeah,
20
and,
minutes, so.
and we got some like smoke wine. So okay, Kyle is probably like
Yes.
full of alcohol.
So,
So we'll give him that.
Okay, we'll give you your reverse question.
Yes, but this
So-
is still a good question. It's my favorite question of the night is, what would Mark Hamill actually be if he was in live action Mark Hamill from now on, but not Star Wars?
No, he
Not
would
Star
be.
Wars.
He would definitely be like a jaded actor. Just he would play not
like
himself,
a Birdman-esque.
kind of the Birdman, but just yeah, I'm rich and I got famous like in my 20s. I don't have time for this shit. I'm phoning everything in because I'm still going to get a paycheck. He would do the lightsaber over the shoulder thing. That would be the entire role.
Yeah,
Just,
I'm Luke Skywalker.
you are going to pay me $1 million to throw a bottle of water at an intern, and then I'm gonna walk off screen and just
Mark
collect my
Hamill is
paycheck.
far too nice to throw a bottle of
No,
water at
but
an intern.
that would be the character that he
unpaid
would
interns,
play.
maybe.
Yeah.
Can I say the character I want him to play?
Sure.
I want him to be the new MJ in Space Jam.
The new Michael Jordan. You want
Yeah.
him to play basketball?
That'd be
Because it
Mark
would,
Hamill basketball.
but I want him.
Sure.
I want it to be played serious, not like as a joke. I want it to be like I want
Playing
him.
straight.
I want him to be doing like dunks, and not just like some like skilled person acting like him. I want a Mark Hamill dunk.
I have
what
a visceral reaction to
No,
this.
what
I know
was-
it. So I want
No,
to.
what was that movie where they had like Shaq and a whole bunch of basketball players from the 80s and 90s just playing older versions of themselves?
Space Jam.
No, not Space Jam, but it was like
Was
the
it
premise
Shazam?
the premise of the movie was
Jam Space?
here's a pickup basketball game, and on one team you have like the newer basketball players,
Well,
and
I
on the other
remember-
team you have like Shaq in a gray wig. With
I
a
remember
goatee.
playing NFL Street. Is this NFL Street, but in basketball?
It was a movie.
it's
I have
NBA
no idea what
Jam.
you're talking about.
Yeah, I have literally no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, probably no one here does.
No.
But
Is
I'm
it
just gonna-
Galactic Fruit
Old
Spread?
Shaq.
yes, old Shaq.
Not old
Shaq.
old Shaq. Old new Shaq.
No, Shaq in his
New
40s
old
playing
Shaq.
Shaq in his 80s.
Galactic Jelly.
Sure, we'll call it Galactic
I
Jelly.
like Galactic Jelly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Galactic Jelly.
It's Space Jam.
And
Kyle.
So it's
And Mark Hamill played.
He's figuring it out.
Mark Hamill played Shaq.
Yeah,
Mark Hamill steps in to play the role of Shaq O'Neal.
Everybody-
Debut film.
everybody's looking up, but he's not even.
It's just Mark Hamill on a stool the entire film.
I just I want to call that previous movie Universal Preserves.
Oh,
Just
God.
want to throw that out
You
there.
play that role to a T. He just couldn't move anywhere because Mark Hamill on stilts probably wouldn't work.
No.
No, I like the stool. Like
Yes.
it's just on wheels. These rolling around.
He has
gotta have-
he has
he's
to
gotta have-
mime. He has to mime walking. So
And they've
wherever
got to
he
have
goes.
one scene in that movie where he gets off the stool, he moves the stool 3 feet, he gets back on the stool. Ah,
That'd be
Michael.
The bloopers would be longer than the movie.
It would be.
Oh well,
hilarious.
every time I see Mark Hamill like in any kind of like talk show, he has to do a Harrison Ford impression. So I just want to watch Mark Hamill remake all of Harrison Ford's movies.
No, Mark Hamill playing Indiana Jones.
Yes,
That would be
I want
hilarious.
just Mark Hamill.
That would be hilarious.
The whole
Actually
time, just doing a
hilarious.
Harrison Ford impression though.
Yes.
He has to be doing the impression. like,
Get
the whole
off
time.
my plane.
And the whole point of all of it would just be to piss off Harrison Ford.
Yes. Well, Harrison Ford is already pissed. Look at his face.
Why
Yeah,
do they have to
that's
be
it.
snakes?
Yeah.
Harrison Ford has had the most lucrative career in film since like frickin' who else? Like
No, they're really
Tom Cruise maybe, but
Like-
like Harrison Ford has made so much money, and he's a grumpy old asshole.
What's Tommy
do you
Lee
have?
Jones? Tommy Lee Jones is the grumpier of the two assholes.
It's true. It's true.
I think-
Tommy Lee Jones is more grumpy, but Harrison Ford has
Has
a more
been
mean
doing it
streak.
longer.
But is Harrison Ford an actual like asshole, or is it just an RBF?
No, he's an actual.
doesn't
He
care.
has
He's-
a mean streak.
He crashes
does.
planes.
He has a mean
in
streak.
his private life.
On set, he has a mean streak.
just because you're angry doesn't mean that you go crash planes.
Yes.
I mean, that's
Well.
what rich people that are angry do, maybe.
Yes.
But,
Harrison Ford's just been doing it longer.
He's
been grumpier longer than
He's
anybody.
old and tired and grumpy.
Well, he started his career in his 30s after working like crew. They
I
saw
think-
him with a hammer putting together
Yeah.
a set and
I'm
said,
thinking-
"Yeah, you look like you could shoot first."
I feel like
Yeah.
the original
Yeah.
cut of like Star Wars, where he was the spoiler for Episode 8 or whatever, but where he's thrown off by his son. It was like they had the same audio from like what was that one other like with Rorschach? Where he's like, "Kill me!"
Yeah.
And
Oh
then they-
yes, yes.
Right.
No,
Give me my paycheck
Watchmen.
and kill me.
Watchmen.
Yeah.
You're thinking of
Yeah,
Watchmen.
Watchmen. Okay.
Yes, and that was
a good
they had a show after it, but they also had the movie to begin with. Back in the day, they had the movie and then they had the show.
Oh yeah,
afterwards, but
Rorschach was good then.
Rorschach was good, but Rorschach was good in the movie. Yeah, he was good.
Anyway,
No, I was just going to say that that's my most disappointing movie ever.
it had good moments, but
That-
it was overall,
there was a
yeah.
point in that movie, and that was the point where he finally kills someone and the police catch him. That was the point where the movie went from amazing to eh.
Yeah, it did.
The
Though
opening for
I-
that movie though,
Having Mr. Manhattan come over the hill and just blowing up like Koreans was
Yeah.
like
Dr.
That
Manhattan,
was
it
pretty
was,
neat, yeah.
It was just,
and then the people bowing to him because he's
that was
God.
God.
He's
yeah.
essentially
He's
a god. Yeah.
oh, it was just that was always great because I'm just thinking of like hearing the song of duh, 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 duh. It was I think that might actually be when I was playing. I can't remember, but that's the only point in that movie I remember that and the kill me scene.
I've only seen Watchmen as a movie about the human condition, yeah, and the perspective of it from different perspectives. Dr. Manhattan's perspective was unique because he was essentially a god, and then you had people who were just regular humans, and then I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah,
That's
that was
all.
fine.
Yep.
Today's stream is or podcast is movie podcast today.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
well,
but-
it's all pop culture stuff.
Yeah, pop culture movies. Podcast.
But my question actually changed it, or my favorite thing actually changed it a little bit. So mine was, what is your favorite thing to hate?
Finland.
You hate Finland?
Yes.
Why do you hate Finland?
I have to pick some country, some people.
I should say the Dutch.
No, so like so to provide context to that, it's the thing that you do dislike, but you find enjoyment in making sure that others know that you do hate.
I
it.
have honestly picked out Finland as the one country, the one people on this planet that I actively dislike.
See,
and
my-
the reason
I'm sorry,
My
Finland
my
viewers.
friends who I have from the Arma community in Finland would probably they probably actually agree with you.
Yeah, well, if anybody said
don't
like,
know what's
down
wrong
with
with
America,
Finland
I'd agree.
has two things going for them.
They have
One
a
is
lot going
saunas.
for 'em.
They do,
Saunas are great.
but they're drunk. They're always drunk in their saunas.
That's because that's what you do. You're
That's
sitting
what
in a hot,
you do in
yeah.
Finland.
You're
You
hot-
just get drunk and you go
you're
to a
hot
sauna.
box-
What else
Boxing
would you
without
do in a
pot.
sauna?
I feel like that's stereotyping.
No, it's not.
They invented the thing.
Oh, okay.
They're also really drunk.
How do you invent-
They were probably drunk when they invented
How do
it.
you invent a hot water in a box?
Yeah.
Because they did it before anyone else
Somebody
did.
put in the patent.
Yeah. They
Somebody
put
did
in the
it.
patent. They said, what we're going to do is we're going to sit in a hot room, put a fire, put some rocks on that fire, and then every so often just pour water on the fire. Just to keep it humid.
I've been hotboxing people for years. I don't get it.
You don't
No.
smoke.
No.
You don't smoke.
No,
And you don't do
No,
drugs.
he does. He tried to kill
No,
me
you-
with his
you-
smoke
you
by
just-
starting my house on fire.
You just eat lots of beans and then
I
you
mean,
like trap them in the
that's
room.
a
with
different.
you.
That's a different.
It's a different kind of
Yeah, it's a
hotboxing.
different hotboxing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
Well, Kyle, what was your thing to hate?
My thing is video games because
You hate
as
video
all
games?
as all
Wait.
three of these motherfuckers know.
No, like, yes.
No, we don't because
No.
you play video games with us all
No,
the
you
time.
hate specific video.
I
Like
do.
Fallout 76,
No.
you hate.
He knows. He
No,
knows.
when getting Kyle on a tirade
I
about a
will.
video game, he will go
Yes.
for hours about it,
There-
and then he'll end up playing it.
Yeah.
He
Because
hasn't
I
played
love that
76.
burn.
No, but he would.
I will.
You-
No, it's true.
Wait,
you
when
s-
are you going to play 76?
No, he said at
No.
some point that he was.
I
if
have
it
never
was-
played 70. I asked if you wanted to play 76, but Argo's like, no, you're going to be a big
No,
poo-poo head
no.
the entire time. I was like, yes, it will.
He says that, but that was essentially my words. Yes.
So like so for context, I played Fallout 4 for 7 hours. And I think I probably can go back and look at this on Steam. I played for 7 hours. And every moment that I played that game, I despised it more than the last.
I've played it for less.
So
But
well,
like I my favorite pastime is going back on games that did not live up to what they desired to be and to just put them into their grave and bury
But-
them with it.
and so in my defense, what I said was, I wouldn't play Fallout 76 with you because I didn't want to deal with you just talking crap about it every minute of every hour.
That would be see
You hate Fallout.
them and if you've seen this, you might have seen the streams, but they played 76 for a number of hours, quite a few streams.
We didn't do it because it was 76. We were doing it because it was a fun game.
It was
multi-
sure, but
No, we didn't do it because it was a fun game. It wasn't a fun game. We did it because it was Fallout and we could be together.
It would
Yes.
be better if Michael wasn't
because
there.
with friends.
That's true.
But my enjoyment from Fallout 76 would have been shitting on it for every moment that I was there. Like the reason why I quit Fallout 4 was because I found a toll booth that I couldn't jump over the bench because the texture work created an invisible wall on the top of it, even though you could definitely jump over it. And I was just like, you know what, this is fine. I've already played New Vegas, a much better game, and that had the.
I quit
fixes
Fallout
on
4
it.
because they forced you to kill a Deathclaw.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah,
yes, that's
that
true.
class.
I think
Well,
Fallout 2, they even had like an entire bunker of conscious Deathclaws.
Yeah,
that was a great story plot.
Fallout-
That's
so good.
why I
Fallout 2 and Fallout
like
1 are so
Deathclaws.
good.
Well, then what's
Fallout
funny-
4 was bad until somebody put a bunch of ponies in it.
You made those.
Um,
You can't advertise on this. Only he can.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's not like you put an exploding dolphin in it.
Yeah.
That's a magic moment for me.
Well, anyway, for my answer, I feel like I need to
For me
change.
too.
I need to change it to be that I love hating what Kyle hates too, because when you go on tirades about video games like that, it's pretty funny.
It is funny.
And I hate it. But mine was watermelon.
Things you love.
You love hating watermelon?
No, I despise watermelon a lot, but
You do.
there is just this thing of like so it's like it makes me nauseous. So it's not like I'm just like it's a belief system or something. It's just I just hate watermelon.
I'm religiously opposed to watermelon.
Yeah, so I just don't like watermelon, but the amount of people that when you say you don't like that for some reason are like, how could you dislike that? Like they legitimately took offense to it. It's funny because there's so many things in the world that you could care more about than what somebody thinks about a fruit. But it's surprising how many people I can guarantee you there's people listening to this right now when I said that I hate watermelon are like, how can you hate watermelon?
It's literally water.
And you know what? Thank you for encouraging my hobby.
It's like Rainbow Dash saying she hates pies when that's a broad thing.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't like pie.
Well, what's the limit on pies?
food.
No, just
And
pies.
There's
pies.
cream pies. There's
pot
fruit
pies.
There's pot pies. There's meat pies. You just hate pies?
Boston
Yes.
cream
Okay.
pies.
Well, you're wrong.
There's
You're all-
Your
There's
issue is
pinky
you just need a little
pies.
bit of
How
salt.
can you? How can you hate something that's 98% water and 1% like?
It's the 1%.
It's the
Well,
one.
no, it doesn't.
Argo hates the 1%.
It doesn't matter. Well, it's not.
He doesn't want to eat the 1%.
I don't care what's in it. I don't care at all. But
I'll eat the 1%.
if anything that in the world, the smell was enough to make you nauseous, you're not going to eat it.
Kraken rum.
No, okay, well that was
Wait,
no. So like, it's not that I don't want to hate it. My body despises it. I don't
Kraken
know
rum.
why. Well, I have good ideas on why, but I just the smell of it makes
It's like
me nauseous.
my dad with
I'm not
coconut.
a big
Can't do it.
fan of Ipecac.
No man.
I don't even know what that is, so I can't even hate you for it.
It's a drug that makes you vomit.
Vomit, yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
My
well, unless you really want to vomit.
I really don't have anything that's like that, but my dad definitely does not like coconut.
Everybody has
never has that.
To me, everybody has something that they do not like. And I'm not just
alcohols.
well, yeah, but usually it's because of a bad experience. I do not. I can guess on watermelon why I hate it, but everybody has a food that they would that they probably despise.
I don't like peaches.
Lutefisk.
Peaches I used to like, but yeah, they're kind of weird.
Cherry
now.
tomatoes.
I'm not like
I don't
really
like cherry
adverse to
tomatoes.
it. Like I won't
peaches.
smell them and leave the room.
Yeah,
but
it's not as bad as mine.
I'm not going to eat a peach.
I think lutefisk is one of those things where I'm very
so
sweet.
Wow.
I'm very Swedish.
Kyle,
One point in my life, I tried lutefisk, and
Kyle,
it's not real food.
lutefisk is a combination of fish and soap.
What lutefisk is what old Polish poor people tried to eat when they couldn't get food from their
Hey,
government.
not just Polish, Swedish, Norwegian, the hated Finns, Estonians.
Wow. I need to dig into
All
this
right.
hatred.
Yeah, bring it-
John is typecasting super hard.
Let's dig into this hatred thing. Michael, what is your hated thing?
Oh, I
what
love
do you
all-
love to hate?
I love all things and everyone all the time.
No, there's something you hate.
I always thought I hated beer, like just beer in general.
Wait, did I break that for you?
A little bit, because
Okay.
you've kind of broadened my idea of beer is always just hops, water.
Miller Lite.
Yeah, you're
Miller
looking at
Lite.
American beer.
American beer, yeah.
But you've shown me that there are other kinds of beer that aren't always just like hops isn't the end all for beer.
No, like what's his name
Malted barley.
What was
from Fermentide? What the Barden saying needs more hops? No,
No.
that is never true.
Well, yeah, but
I love beer, but I hate hops.
But
Yeah,
We
exactly.
need different malts.
if they were to have him say something that was a different term in regards that people didn't
No
understand,
one would know what they're talking about.
Yeah, hops at least is understandable. But there was the one that we had at Fantasy Flight. Just
Darkfather.
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 I had that before because you said it was like a dessert beer, and that
It
is
tastes like a
it is-
cinnamon cake.
it is-
it tasted like a brownie or a cake.
I was gonna say it tasted like and this is really me and myself only, but like a peanut butter bar with like the chocolate. I don't know if that's a Minnesotan thing or not, but like a peanut butter jar,
No,
the rice crispy peanut butter bar with the chocolate covering on top.
That's actually very.
That's
good, yeah.
that's definitely what the Dark Father is. But that's a beer.
I don't know if I
it's
put
a
it.
beer.
Quite, I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know if I quite put it there. To me, it was like a really rich brownie
Yeah.
with like a little bit of a fruit flavor to it.
There's definitely peanut
But
butter.
to
you-
Michael's
I've,
hatred, a natty light
Oh, no one likes
or
that.
Bush Light or
people
anything
pretend
like
like
that.
that.
Those beers.
Like I've
So you love
recently
to hate that beer?
I hate hops, but I've recently discovered I like sour beers.
Yeah.
Like
Ooh,
sour
sour
beers.
beers
fruit.
are
Has
very
this
good.
been your Kentucky trip that
I
you've
think
been
I've
trying
only
things?
ever liked.
Yeah, I've been like
Four sour
like
beers
my Kentucky
in my
trip. I've
entire
been
life,
trying things, and I found out that sour beers really good. And I hated beers.
Yeah,
Well,
it
for the
ranges
most
from
part.
drinking a cranberry juice to drinking salad dressing, and none of those are bad flavors.
No,
My first beers were like when I was super young. Were like Miller Lite and
Most-
those are
what was
nasty.
the one? The Corona.
Yeah, most
Because-
people's first beer is the kind of beer you play beer pong with, where you have just a ping pong ball that's been on the floor and thrown into a bucket of liquid.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it.
It's not good, but it's cheap, and it's alcohol. That means I get drunk.
It does help that you moved literally into a state with the most microbreweries, not the most microbreweries, but close to the
Per capita.
the most microbreweries in the United
Well, I think
States.
it's just a generational thing in the last decade or two.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, that is also
not
true.
just
yeah.
that, but like I'm wearing the shirt right now for
Sociables.
sociables, and I have a sociables drink right in front of me.
and we were drinking like whatever this is.
Yeah, so there's
I was drinking scotch.
the small brew stuff has been great. Anyway, I want to make sure we're moving here. So, Michael, what was your favorite question?
Well, that was his question.
That was my
he
question.
used to hate beer, but we have
No, that was his answer to to my question.
Oh, my favorite.
What was your question? for
Oh,
favorites?
well, I had things written all over my legs, but that all went out the window.
Oh yeah, so Michael
You had
can-
weird esoteric nonsense written on your legs.
Yeah, I had Conan
He
the
actually wrote stuff on his legs.
Yeah, so
Like,
both-
he actually wrote it on his legs.
both legs, and he brought a prop.
Michael can
And he brought a prop. He brought Derpy in a jar.
wait. Michael confused the question, and I thought that we were going to be talking about what our personal favorite of anything was.
So did I, though.
Yeah, because I really didn't provide. John's the one that came up with it, so he knew what I was going.
Well, I came up with this months ago and said, "Here's our middle section. Here's our middle section. Are you going to use the middle section?
Now it's at the
use
end.
the middle section. Yay!"
And you confused everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, so,
except Argo because they explained it to him.
explained
for
it.
months.
So he wrote like some stuff on his legs about his favorite stuff, and he put Derpy in a jar, which apparently is some fetish, I guess.
He wrote
but
song
No,
lyrics.
it's adorable. She's trying to get out, but she can't.
what is your
Michael
your
wrote-
favorites question? We're not going to go on
Well,
that. So
okay. Well, mine's going to be fairly simple because I had to think about it like while drunk. But John already asked what's your favorite scene. So I'm going to ask what's your favorite Halloween movie? Halloween movie specifically.
So you go first so that we have time to think.
Me go first?
Yeah, so we have time to think.
My favorite Halloween movie
I know what this is.
is Hocus Pocus.
Yep, I knew.
Oh, God, I knew it too. Yes.
And I'll tell you why. Because that movie is messed up.
They ruined I Put a Spell on You. Screamin' Jay Hawkins had a perfect song, and then you've got Bette Midler just...
Ben Midler kills a child in the first 10 minutes of that movie. You get into that movie and she just murders a kid and you see
Stone cold dead.
Stone dead. She sucks the life out of her. You see the body in that movie. This is a Disney film, and they're just murdering children in it. And they're performing necromancy, bringing people back from the dead. You see a cat get run over and brought back to life, and the cat dies. And that's sad, but you realize the cat's a person, so they just kill another kid.
That's worse.
Mine is definitely stuck between two because it's the one that you brought, and it's not the Giallo film. It's the one you brought with the lawnmower gore.
Oh,
movie.
Dead Alive?
Dead Alive. So Dead Alive is one of the really, really good ones. But my second I think my favorite Halloween movie has to be I think it's probably going to be Evil Dead 2. After watching Evil Dead and watching Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead.
Well, would that be? Is that a Halloween movie or is it just a horror?
Yes.
movie?
I would classify it as Halloween.
Any
movie, but
horror
consider
movie
any
is a
horror.
Halloween.
Any Halloween
it's
or-
horror, but it's kind
Monster
it's not a
movies,
Halloween. It's
other
not a
than-
Halloween movie.
Other
I
than
guess.
kaiju movies, monster movies are Halloween movies.
Yes.
Godzilla is not a Halloween movie.
Yeah,
I kind of put all of the Halloween-esque I put B horror. I definitely put B horror in
Slasher
Halloween
movies.
Slasher movies,
Henry and the
yeah.
Hendersons.
Oh,
Harry and the Hendersons?
Yeah,
Not so much.
It's not horror.
Well,
No.
it depends on who you're asking.
I thought
If you're
Harry.
4 years old, you're going to be scared.
The Jerk isn't a horror movie.
Harry was pretty hot.
Oh.
I
too,
definitely
so.
think Dead Alive is it has to be up there.
Dead Alive's a good movie.
It's
Cape
so good.
Fear is a Halloween movie.
what was yours, John?
Probably, and this is one that I've shown you, and to much kind of embarrassment and chagrin, American Werewolf in London.
Yep,
That was a fantastic movie.
Because
It was awful until
it's
I literally
awful.
almost died laughing.
No, because it takes itself seriously, but it isn't a serious movie.
So not.
Here's my
Because
confession.
they go so far in every direction.
The
Because
transformation scene, and then it's just
That was really good,
random.
though.
No, 'cause
it's
they
just
have-
random cuts to
Yeah.
things happening.
they
You just
have
cannot-
10 minutes of boredom, just a song about how bored this guy is, and then a torture body horror scene that goes on for 15 minutes with the best practical effects of any movie
It was
ever.
really good.
And then slash cut of that animatronic being used in different
Yeah.
locations, and it's just
And then-
you literally can't handle it.
And then
It's
he
so
wakes
good.
up in a porno theater and just
does.
has a porno comedy going around in the background
That
where
is
a
a good
corpse
moment.
talks to him.
It's so British.
Well,
it hurts.
5 corpses talk to him into
Yes.
killing himself.
Yeah.
It's so
Isn't
British.
Isn't
it
that just
hurts.
Donnie Darko?
Yeah.
Yeah, without the time loops.
Oh, well, that made the big movie.
I have to admit, my only recollection of that film, because I only saw it in pieces, is a woman transforming into a werewolf and just wolf nipples. That's
Wait,
all
what?
I remember.
No,
No,
not even
that's a
remotely.
different movie,
That's
Mike.
Is that a different movie?
Yeah, different movie.
I remember wolf nipples.
We watched.
There
What?
are wolf nipples
We
in a
didn't watch it
number
together.
of movies. Wait, American Werewolf in London we watched. American Werewolf
there was
in London
definitely no
2.
wolf nipples in that
American
movie.
Werewolf in London 2.
They didn't have wolf nipples.
Yeah,
Make
it
a
switched to CGI,
so maybe
and it was
that's
in France.
Maybe that's
so
the one I'm
no,
remembering.
it was bad.
Well, anyway,
Wait, we're getting into Howling 3, which is my favorite B movie, which
It
is
is really good.
no, my favorite
did have wolf
my favorite
nipples.
Halloween movie is
it had marsupial wolf nipples.
my favorite Halloween movie is Die Hard.
No,
How dare.
no.
That is most certainly not a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
It's not. It's
which
not a
makes
Christmas.
it a Halloween
Die
movie.
Hard 2
No.
is a Christmas movie.
Die Hard 1,
Okay.
Die Hard 2, Die Hard 3, no.
No,
No.
not 3.
Die Hard 3 is the sequel to Die Hard.
Who bothered
One,
watching anything after the first one though?
They drove a tank off a truck in Die Hard 4.
Was it
That's
Die
great.
Hard 5 or they had the F8? Or no, it was the Super Harrier that was floating around New York and shooting at him. With
Yeah,
the
they had
cannons.
his son in Russia as a spy.
Yeah. That was an awful movie.
Well,
I don't
okay,
like that movie at all.
They're all bad except for 1, 2, and
This is movie.
parts of
This is
3.
movie podcast.
Wait,
Well,
no, 2 had 3 had
I
Samuel L.
have
Jackson.
no idea. I just know it was a funny meme. So no, I'm not a big horror movie fan, so I don't know much about horror movies. But I remember one of my favorites was Jason X, just because it
I've
had
never seen it.
because it had just that one scene where it was like them doing a hologram to try to distract him with a bunch of like college girls that were all naked and just them walking
Naked college girls.
them just walking out
Yeah.
without their shirts on saying
We're gonna have premarital sex, and then it's just flash cuts.
then the flash cut to him carrying one lady in a sleeping
sleeping
bag,
bag.
swinging at the other one on the ground and hearing the it was comedy
So
gold.
perfect.
It's a movie about people being murdered and they literally just had one person being beaten by the other.
It's so
was
so
so
self-aware.
amazing.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
No, it was a bad movie, but it was I think
No.
at least it's not like
Go do it.
it's not like what you were
Kinda
saying
wanted to do
where
it.
but where you have something that's bad and it's not acknowledging that it's bad. That was just bad and or it acknowledged that it was bad. So it was okay.
So bad it's good?
Yeah, I guess you could put it that way.
Jay-Z
Are we on to
X was
questions now,
pretty much-
finally?
Yep. So we're
Yeah.
gonna try to get into our audience questions here, and I'm gonna try to
Hello,
do it
questions.
really quick here because we're already
Hello.
good. We're over.
Yeah.
We're trying
I
to
know, right?
trying to
We're
stick
trying
to
to
an
cut.
hour.
We try to cut it down. He
We've
said
been-
an hour. We're
We're
on
at
an hour
20.
10.
So
We've been having fun.
So we're gonna do some, but I don't like cutting discussions if they're in the middle of good stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do some rapid fire ones.
Okay.
So, so I like I mentioned, we have some audience questions. So on the Discord for anybody that's a supporter on Patreon or on Twitch. I don't see want to take Twitter, but on Twitch or Patreon, there's a chat and I ask for questions. So for this one, so Null and Void ask, what's your favorite sci-fi Easter egg?
So
I brought this one up to the group earlier because it was a complicated
this
question.
is kind of sci-fi, but the opening to the Watchmen movie, just everything is just a call out to something because they've got the times they are changing, and so many of those scenes are just call outs to the comic book, like or the guy with the cape being caught in a rotating door, just getting shot down because you don't wear capes. That makes no sense. It's so easy to kill. Mothman being dragged away to an insane asylum because, yeah, if you're a superhero, you've got mental problems.
Yeah.
The Scarlet Spectre being shot down because, yeah, she's a lesbian in the 60s. Someone's going to kill her
Somebody
for
in a
that.
flat can.
Yeah.
Every scene just had that emotional hit, and it was a call out to something in the book.
Watchmen was always just this movie that was very commentary on absolutely everything
The
at the
first
time.
half was amazing.
Yeah.
Second
See, like
half,
I
no.
and the thing is, like I really, and he like he said, he put this up earlier, just to give us a primer on it, and I still can't think of, like, I've had so many like video games or movies where they've called something tiny and up, and I'm like, oh, look at that, it's the alien, or it's Predator, or
Well,
it's
the
blah,
amount of
blah,
references
or
to
so much 80s horror,
Evil
horror
Dead
stuff.
references are everywhere.
Evil Dead references are
We just did
everywhere.
it yesterday.
We literally just did a video game. It's like, it's hard to pick one because they're
I'm
everywhere,
here
and
to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
I love them all equally.
My favorite actual sci-fi reference is from Halo 2. No, it might have been Halo 3, where they had the one door that you could go to, and it had the guys from Rooster Teeth. So it had Jeff and Gus. And so it was just them having a stupid little conversation, what they said depended on the difficulty, but it was them making a reference to other people within the community that made great content that helped support their game. And having them literally brought in to make audio for a game that they made content for was super, super cool. And it was a super fun reference to run across. That is probably one of my favorites because I respect the group that made that stuff. And then seeing that both the developer and the people that the creators work together like that was just something inspiring. And I love seeing that crossover. Michael, what's yours?
Duke Nukem Forever was a horrible game, but it made a reference to Half-Life, and that is my favorite game of all time, and I appreciate that.
What's the reference?
The reference is there's a point where he's trying to get through some wooden boards that are up in a barrier in front of him, and he makes the reference, "I wish I had a crowbar for this." And I appreciate that reference to one of my favorite sci-fi video games of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Even though the game itself was absolutely awful.
Forever was.
Yeah, Duke Nukem Forever was a bad game.
I think we're kind of doing rapid fire on this. So the Jurassic asked the question, what is your favorite Monster Hunter monster? Last time he did the one of what one would you want as a pet. This is now your actual favorite.
I still have to say Kuloloku. It's a giant chicken.
I like
that
the
throws
Kieran.
rocks.
I like the Kieran. He's fuzzy and he's electricity.
I think Mitch always calls him Lightbulb.
He is Lightbulb.
What, the Kieran?
God bless Lightbulb.
Kieran is Lightbulb. I've never seen the Kieran in a game.
No,
Really?
This is such a tough question because
Like nobody cares about Jackrass.
no,
Like he's scaly.
But he's great.
He's a lizard. He's fat.
no. This is a tough question because there's so many cool monsters. I don't want to put Rathalos or Rathian because I feel like they're kind of like
You're
throwaway.
biased.
Yeah, I'm biased a little bit.
So you're gonna say
but
pickle?
if I had to pick like the ones that like I love the fact I can't remember the name now bothers me.
Tentacle face?
Nergigante.
What's the name of the tentacle
He's
face?
too spiky to be a pet.
Yeah, but his whole attack patterns and everything about him was just fun. Like he was just a fun character because when he goes to do his big attack,
He does
see
do
it
a lot of
coming.
splashes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very. I think if we're talking about the most fun fights in the game, I think actually, what was the prismatic dragon one that hashed out the egg?
Oh, the one, like the slug one that had like all the rainbow effects.
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking
Was
about?
that the one in like the Iceborne?
The
that
water
came out?
one.
Yeah, the water one.
No, it wasn't the water one. It was the one at the dead end of the main game.
Oh,
Of
that one.
Worlds?
That was like covered in stone at first, and then you had to break
Nope,
the stone.
that was the Iceborne one.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
you're
Iceborne.
double thinking it. It's
Okay.
It was the one before that where you originally saw it in the crystal cave and it came out of the ceiling. Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I do
That-
remember it.
that
but-
was
That
a
was
cool
my
one.
favorite boss.
Yeah, I can't
Okay.
remember him.
Definitely.
The laser.
I
shooter.
don't remember his name because it was like Xavier or something.
It
like
was
that.
a long time ago. It
was
was
years
ago.
we played
ago.
a lot of Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
We did. We played a lot of
Well,
Monster
I am
Hunter.
considering.
I've
I've played one.
I am considering going back to play that for World on stream.
World
sometime.
was the better Monster Hunter.
Well, no, I
It
think
was-
they're both good, but World is just pretty.
I think World
Yeah.
would.
World had a
I've only
moose.
played World.
Rise is coming to Steam in January.
World,
you wanna buy the game.
World had better resolution.
Okay, shut up, Michael. Okay,
Giant
so
monsters killing hunters.
next question. So this one, AZG Chip, another Twitch user, asks. It's a little bit longer one. With enough heavy cream added to milk, you can achieve the same density as water. What would happen to life on Earth if all the oceans were instantly turned into a milk and cream mixture of the same density?
Cookies.
Wait, what?
Oh, ooh.
Unlimited space
Instant
cookies.
cookies.
Space cookies.
Yes.
No, I'm confused by the
Become
question.
one with the
because
cookie and milk.
Okay, let's
Milk is denser than water.
Just
Yes, it is.
go with the fact that like now all the oceans of the world are replaced with milk
All-
and cream.
Heavy
Yes.
cream. Yeah.
So much.
There
So
isn't
much
cream.
cookies.
There isn't cream.
No, there's no. You could throw berries.
You
in
gotta,
it,
you gotta,
but
you
this
gotta
is an
throw
ocean.
berries in it.
I like the idea that like we just become the world's giantest cookie crisp.
Yeah.
Like everything. It just
It'd be like, it'd be cookie crisp, except
Okay.
for real this time.
I'm worried because
I'm-
milk spoils.
It does.
Well, I'm thinking it
You'd
would
have just giant oceans of spoiled
rot.
milk.
It would take-
I used to work on a dairy farm, and you do not want to be near an ocean filled with curdled
I feel like the world would
milk or
die.
old milk.
We're in the middle of the continent. We're fine for a little.
Yeah,
while.
No,
but like
we have Superior next door to us.
Oh, now it's going to be
no
milk.
ocean.
connected
he
to the
said-
ocean.
He said oceans, and
It
it's
does
correct.
say oceans.
Superior is freshwater.
we
No,
lock
we would-
the docks.
Yes, all the locks would
are
just
done.
be closed, and we'd say, 80% of the
No
world's
milk in
population
here.
lives within 10 miles of spoiled milk.
Yeah, I
Could
think
you imagine the
most of the world
population
will
rush for
die.
Minnesota?
But it would be a great
It'd be
week.
horrible.
All right.
I don't
So
want Californians here.
next question
I
here.
don't want South Dakotans here.
I'm going to do.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm going to do 3 more here. So another question Flutterkind asks, have you ever accidentally destroyed a lot of work you've done?
Oh yes, I work. I am a carpenter and a woodworker on occasion, and I have definitely taken about 8 hours of work and just tossed it in the bin.
Yep. I had an animation I made. I spent 5 hours on it, and for some reason it just didn't save. And I had to completely redo all 5 hours. And that was back early on where 5 hours was the entire video. So I made an entire video and I lost it. And so I started it and remade the entire thing. It was after that moment that I
that's
figured
rough.
out what autosave was.
And this probably won't match up to any of those, but you know those punch cards where if you get 12 or if you get 10 or if you get 12, you get the free one? I recently had one where I had like 9 out of 12 in the punch cards, and I looked at my laundry and I said, why are all these paper chunks in my laundry?
Wait,
That sounds like Michael with his library card.
we're talking about like
think it's
destruction of a life's work, and you're like, I don't get a free sandwich.
Yes,
It's rough
Yeah.
for John.
yeah, you are creators. I'm just a mindless consumer.
But
My consumption was
sandwiches.
lost.
I've done a lot of projects in the past, and I'm just pretty methodical, so I tend to plan things out well ahead of time.
You've never lost anything.
Michael makes no
I've never
mistakes.
lost anything.
Except for your own dignity.
I've made lots of mistakes, but I always had
He
like
d-
backup plans.
He
for those
doesn't
mistakes.
put work into his dignity.
The one time I will say I hauled a bunch of dirt and a house project down a hill in a wheelbarrow at 2:00 in the morning, and then ended up having to haul it all back up the hill like a few days later because I needed it. Like I'm talking like several hours of me just hauling dirt down a hill, and then several hours of me having to haul it back up in the AM hours of the night. So
The only thing that I have to compare to that is me getting lost and saying, yeah, I'm going to walk 12 miles that direction. Oh, I should have walked 5 miles in that direction.
So, okay, that next question here. This one, we'll see if, well, no, that one probably might take a little bit, so I'll save that one for next time. No, we're not going to do that one either.
you're
There
ready
was-
to end this.
There
Look at
was
you.
one here. Oh, no, we'll just end it on this one here then. What is your biggest regret?
That we're willing to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's-
that's what we're willing to talk about.
it
No.
gets deep.
I'm going to talk about the things I can't talk about and just use like analogies.
What thing can I talk about that's not soul crushing?
Like for me, it was actually so like I like my job where I am now and everything, but like probably 4 or 5 years ago, I was in a much rougher spot for future stuff, and at that point, it actually would have been a better decision to go more full time into YouTube and stuff, because I probably would have been able to actually make it a full time job. Now it's a little rougher because it's a bigger offset. So one of my regrets originally was to instead at that time just seeing it as a hobby, but to actually transfer it to a job, and it ended up working out for me in the end for other things. But it is kind of a regret because it would be something like, what could have I had done with it if I like 4 or 5, 6 years ago I had changed my decision on my path on stuff.
Yeah, mine's kind of the same of what could I have done. It's in college, I was told, oh, you need to take science courses because that's the safety thing. And those are the courses that really tanked my GPA so that I couldn't go into I couldn't go into my PhD or master's program because the thing that I really wanted to do you need a 3.5 to get into any sort of master's program, and you don't have that because
That's
you're
also
biochem.
That's a college.
If you don't have the
thing,
mind
too.
for it,
America's
Physics,
college specific.
physics and stuff, like some of those science classes,
No,
You have to-
biochem just.
Oh yeah. You have to
I
dedicate.
had to do a biochem class. I think I might have gotten a D+ in it because I literally hated every goddamn moment of that
tanked
class.
if I had taken just theater for non-majors too.
The problem with
Right.
it too is that they're trying, like, a lot of these classes are meant to weed out the people who don't want to be in those fields.
I
But
didn't-
when you're forced to take them for a field you're not wanting to go into,
I
it
think as
defeats
long
the
as
purpose.
you pass all your classes and get your bachelor's, you should be allowed to move on to your master's.
Yeah, that makes
Like,
sense. What was that? But I'm saying, I agree with them.
I forgot these buttons exist. I wanted to use one.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
like I need everyone to look me in the eyes. What my greatest regret is.
Kentucky.
No, I have a great many regrets, but one thing I kind of regret, it's college related again, is that I went to a technical college instead of a community college and a state college.
Well, to start out with,
Yeah,
specifically.
community college and then transfer to a state college is what I should have done.
We went
What
to
I
Wells
did
before.
is go to IT Tech, which if anyone knows their like history regarding colleges, IT Tech got shut down for predatory school loans.
Actually, I believe Nolan Void, one of the support. I think he was one in a similar boat. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But,
Like my boss went to IT Tech before, like way back when, before like there was like a time period, 2005 to 2010, where a company called Sally Mae was allowed to basically run amok and just do whatever percentages they
Oh,
want.
the people who I own loans to right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I ended up paying like nearly $100,000 for a 2-year degree.
Well,
Yeah, I didn't get.
at least you didn't go to Trump
Well,
University.
they shut them down for a reason.
Mhm.
Like IT Tech had like 140 locations. Now they have 0 because they shut down overnight.
What was your
My
regret?
biggest regret.
Regret. I regret
regret.
words.
That's the smoke talking. My biggest regret has to be though, and this is more personal than probably others, but it is going into, instead of doing because I went to the NORTC, which is Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps. I should have been in the Army Reserve Officer Training Corps instead. And how is it even a rim shot?
Oh.
I feel like that would be a whole lot more involved than what you're doing
using
now.
buttons now because you're upset about you not using them before.
I know like 3 buttons. I'm gonna use them.
The thing
Where's our
press-
full house? You took away our full house.
Press the sparkle.
Where's our full house?
It's not.
that's not perfect.
I
Wait,
know. Stop.
where's Full
This
House?
is my buttons.
like Kyle?
But I ended up via family pressures and other things doing Navy instead of the Army, and that was the wrong choice.
But you're in
That was
the
my
you're-
biggest
But
regret.
the way
And I fix it by
The
doing
way-
National Guard now.
the way I've always seen it though is that wherever you are at this moment, the breaths you're taking right now, everything you're doing right now is a result of everything before. So
Yeah.
you can have regrets, but
You fix 'em.
anything that you have done in the past that would have been different might have put you to where you are not where you are now. Might have been a better place, but it could be a worse place. And so if you like where you are now, don't regret too much.
So everything that I've said to women is justified?
Oh, that was a rim shot though.
I have to believe that.
Damn, that was a perfect. That was well timed too.
If it wasn't for
Shoot.
if it wasn't for certain circumstances involving women, I definitely would not be here. So
That's
There you
another
go.
perfect
I've
usage
got-
of the
But,
soundboard.
I would
You know
still
what?
be in
I
Kentucky.
like the soundboard now. I gotta use it
Where
more
is
often.
the
Good.
where's
Yeah, soundboard.
where's
I
full
agree.
where's Full House?
It's gone. It's,
Wait,
it's now
no.
the timer.
Hold on.
we want to
hold
talk
on.
about regrets.
Hold on.
Where's Full?
No, okay, actually, it's gone.
What do you
I'm
have
sorry.
labeled? You have a bicycle bell
No,
now on that
yeah,
one.
it's the bell.
Ow.
So, anyways, that was from the trivia. So,
Yeah.
I think we went through everything, right? I think
Yes.
we're all
Yeah.
good. So
Now
okay.
we're all
Or-
sad.
So
Or tonight, but you
We're
have
all
to,
sad
we're
now.
all sad. But you have to remember that you have
That's
to
why I
come
need
in
more of that.
next time. No more smoke.
I need more smoke.
If
No.
you guys are definitely a lifeblood for this
No,
sort of stream,
yes.
and we appreciate you very much for coming along and hanging out with us for this entire.
Yeah.
We are just us hanging out and
A
bullshitting
third
for
of
the
this
last
stream is completely due to
stream.
you.
Yeah, if you stream.
I regret this stream.
no, so
If you guys love this content and you appreciate We appreciate having you around here, and we appreciate you appreciating us.
What is the cliche? Please like and subscribe.
Oh God!
Smash
Please,
that.
please
Smash that like
Please
button.
don't hit the bell. The bell doesn't exist on Apple, and if you do it crashes the server.
The whole reason we started this was originally because we already have these conversations.
Yeah.
So to us, it was whether or not it's popular or not, we don't care
We
because
like to share.
because we literally I think for the hour and a half beforehand, we're eating Potbelly sandwiches and having
just
drinks,
screw around.
and we just literally were talking nonstop on the exact same stuff until we sat down.
The only difference is headsets, and we've moved from cookies to alcohol.
Yeah, so that's why this is fun for
I want a
us.
cookie now.
We're just hoping that other people enjoy it as well.
There's cookies downstairs.
Yeah,
You
there
can go
is
grab
2
one.
cookies downstairs.
We must end this stream to get those cookies.
But before we do that, I did want to go back to the one thing I started at the very first stream, and I wanted to try to do it in the future. So, Michael,
Yes.
I need the word that we're going to end it on, and it better not be pony. That was the first word. So, what word are we ending this on?
Garfin Flickle burp.